We are the Green Campus Enterprise. My name is Seneca, and I'm one of the presidents of the enterprise, and I'm a member on the GLRC Retrofit team.
I'm Trevor, and I'm a member of the Mr. Lid team.
I'm Elsie, and I'm the team lead for the GLRC Retrofit team.
I'm Nick, and I am on the Tiny House Build team.
So the mission of the Green Campus Enterprise is to help Michigan Tech's administration effectively engage the university community in reducing our carbon footprint. We do this through a variety of projects, which we will talk about. Next, we'll go through our current teams. We have teams that are in place every year and other teams that are just there for as long as the project lasts. So our first team is the Clean Air, Cool Planet team. This team is actually what started the enterprise. They calculate the carbon footprint of the university every year. So this team has always been around, and currently for this year, they're calculating the 2019 carbon footprint, and they're almost done with that. They're just working on entering in the last of the travel vouchers. So those go into university travel, any carbon that we would generate through traveling. As you can see, we have the graphs from the 2018 carbon inventory. There's two slightly different ones. The top one is location-based. So those are all the carbon inventory that we use on Michigan Tech's property. So things that happen directly on campus or on other properties that Michigan Tech owns. The market-based, you can tell, is slightly different, and that's simply because the university purchases wind credits from downstate Michigan, so that alters the carbon inventory slightly. So the other team we've always had is the campus culture team, and their goal is to move the culture of Michigan Tech's campus in the direction of increased sustainability. Currently, they're working on updating the Green Campus website because it was a little outdated, and they run our social media, they write newsletters, and they also have a partnership with Residence Education and Housing Services. So they do things with housing to implement sustainability initiatives into the residence curriculum, as well as running an energy competition. So this is an example of one of the newsletters that to increase sustainability. Yeah, they kind of do the interacting with the community to increase sustainability.
So the single-use process water team is the first of the teams that's only going to exist for the duration of the project. Their project is to create a chiller system on campus to recool water from the lab equipment to reduce Michigan Tech's water usage. So the progress that's been made so far is the MTU lab managers have been contacted, and they're currently gathering information for us to use. And we've been researching potential cooler options. And the Mr. Lid team, so the project is to implement a reusable container program at the MUB's North Coast Dining Hall and complete life cycle assessments for both that reusable container, which is the Mr. Lid container, and the containers it would be replacing. So the progress that's been made so far is the program is ready to be implemented this fall. And the program is basically you trade a tag for the reusable container, you get your meal in that reusable container. Once you're done with your meal, you return that reusable container and get the tag back. And you also get a slight discount on all of your food. And the preliminary LCAs have been completed so in using the SimmerPro program, and more information is being added as we go.
Our next team is the Tiny House Community team, and it was created in the fall of 2017 after a survey was sent out to the students asking about interest in living in such a community. And basically this project, its goal is to design a sustainability-minded community on campus where students can live in their tiny houses. So at this point, the design has been completed, a plot of land has been chosen, and a design has been created around that. And there'll be a community house where students can come and gather. So at this point, with the design complete, it's just working on the final cost analysis and then pitching it to the university. Our next project is the GLRC Retrofit team. This project is looking to design a system to disperse excess heat into the portage and then complete a environmental impact analysis. So the GLRC has a lot of excess heat that needs to be dispersed because of the lab equipment and supercomputer in the basement. Right now, the current system is to use several dry coolers, and these are excessively noisy, can be heard halfway across campus, and then also use lots of electricity. So we've come up with a more efficient design that uses much less electricity by running a closed system pipe through the portage. Yeah, so you can see that here, and it would be hooked up to where the dry coolers are, and the dry coolers would remain online as a backup to the system. The system would run down to the pipe, would run down to the portage, and then come back out and tie into the current system. So it would just be installing the pipe. Right now, we're working on the environmental impact to see how that would affect the portage.
The goal of the tiny house build team is to design, construct, and monitor a net zero energy tiny home for an MTU professor. And we're doing this sustainability mindset with both our materials. We're trying to source stuff as locally as possible, lower the embodied carbon of all of our building materials, and also have a good idea of how much material we're going to need so we have as little waste when we're completed with the project. And then to minimize our impact on the area where we're going to be building the house, we are trying to do panelized construction, which would enable us to build the house essentially all on campus and transport it to the site and then just do the final construction there and minimize damaging the surrounding ecosystem, as the plot of land that we have for this house is very untouched. It's never been developed on, so we really want to keep intact as much as we can. And we do this through 3 teams: a building structure team, a mechanical team, and a power and electricity team. And our current progress is we have decided on a final model with our client, and we are just getting ready to do our blueprint drawings so that we can begin construction in the fall. And after we complete construction, we will be monitoring to see how close we got to our estimated thermal demand and energy loads to see if we met that net zero energy requirement. And we're doing that through Revit, CAD, as well as Passive House Planning Package, which is a European standard that we chose to use as they have very net zero energy, sustainable minded stuff. And to wrap a couple things up, we are planning on wrapping up the GLRC Retrofit team as well as the tiny house community. And a thank you to our sponsor, Sussex IM, for all the great work they've done with the Mr. Lid team.
All right, so thank you and have a good day.